Hey guys, Romie here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 3, Episode 2, Meet the Press. So the episode starts off with Monique, and she's talking to, well, Monique is still moving stuff into her new, gorgeous, fantastic house. Oh, Jesus. So while she's going and getting the drinks ready because Karen's going to be coming, in comes Karen in the F-type Ferrari coupe. I said, now, wait a minute. Karen. Monique had the same reaction I did. Like, wait a minute. So Karen, she's in this jumpsuit. She looks good. The car retails for $100K. I said, now I'm going to have to hop in this for a moment. Because Monique even greeted her with drinks and didn't realize, wait a minute. So Karen walks in the house and said, this is how you do. Oh, this is how you do it. Shout out to this black couple that has amassed all of this. Shout out to them. And I said, yes, did it the right way. Won't he do it, Jesus? Anyway, Karen is there because she appreciates the fact that Monique, Karen kind of reiterates what she's been saying this whole time, but adds in the fact that she was hurt, that she exposed herself and became vulnerable to Robin, and Robin would go and do something like that to her. And she just thinks, if with friends like that, who needs enemies? Sidebar, Monique's fish tank is not just a fish tank, it's a shark tank. Now, I said, how do you mix the fishes with the sharks? And I see a dory in there. What's going on in that tank? But anyway, I think one of the sharks is named after Karen. Robin invites Giselle over to her place. And the thing is, Robin still lives in her house that's far away. And we find out that Robin actually is getting a bigger place. We're thinking this is great. Mind you, the bigger place is across the street. Not across the street, down the street. Maybe 2 blocks away at most. I said, that's fine. Convenience, perfect. And again, they're thinking practical. So I said, great. No foolery. As you know, like I said, Karen's talking to Monique about how Robin stabbed her in the back. And how she just feels like, if someone who was there and became your confidant, even in a moment's time, wants to go and flip the script on you afterwards and turn it into something completely different when other people are around, that's not right. That's not right. And the thing is, I do agree. I understand why Robin doesn't believe Karen, but I do think that it's fugazi to go allow someone to talk for 3 hours because you're trying to be nice, but then as soon as that conversation's done, go run around to everyone else and say, so this is what she told me, and I don't believe her for a second. Anyway, this is trash. Again, Karen has been caught in multiple lies. She's not going to call them lies. She's going to say stretching of the truth, slight exaggerations, mismanagement of reality, whatever you want to call it. Karen's been caught up with it. So I fully understand why Giselle and Karen didn't believe it and how, but I didn't realize how far things got. Apparently on Twitter, Giselle was caught up in some tweets regarding Karen and, about what's really the truth, bankruptcies, all of that. And Karen's over it. Karen's frustrated. She just feels like it's time for her to take control and to really address everyone. So we're going to see how she does that. Oh, this Thursday. Thank you, Jersey Shore. Oh, thank you, Jersey Shore. Anyway. Oh, yeah, I do those reviews now. So if you guys watch Jersey Shore, which you should, it's actually really entertaining. It feels like how it did when it first started. So get back into that. We see Giselle's picked up by her man, and he takes her to, Giselle's so happy. And I'm glad that she's happy. I'm glad she found someone. He seems to be into her. She seems to be into him. It's great. So she actually sets up this event, this picnic by the orchard. That's what I'll call it, a picnic by the orchard. And they're just sitting down there. She's feeding him. They kind of joke around about how Giselle's the extra one in the relationship, but he can handle it. He can handle it. He likes it. She's the only one man that's been around her kids, or that she'd feel comfortable, moving in with. So I said, okay, Giselle, that you putting it out there. You're putting it out there, and he's catching it. He seems to be all in. So this seems to be well. Now we're back at Oz, Ashley's restaurant. Well, Ashley and Michael's restaurant. And it seems to be doing well. It seems to be doing better. It seems to be doing better. She doesn't seem stressed out. We see a little clip of her and Michael, just playing around. So things are slowly getting back to the way that they were. And she does this bliss get together. Essentially, she invites all women, or for the most part women, and it looks like women from multiple backgrounds, and just to connect and network with each other. And I said, that's great. Monique, comes in. We said, okay, great. And Monique was actually talking to Rhonda. Rhonda runs a Men Fit nonprofit, and it provides, larger men with suits and clothing. And I said, that's great. That's really good, because can you imagine, you being qualified for a job, but because you can't afford to dress the part, you don't get the job? Like, come on. How am I supposed to get this job if you're saying part of it is to look the part, and I can't afford to look the part? So I do think that that's great. While they were talking, and because Monique's husband has a lot of large suits, so it's perfect. Great. And comes Candice. And I said, I think we're going to like Candice. Candice looked good. She looked good. And, that's half the battle. But I said, ooh, Giselle's happy. So Giselle might be okay. We know normally Giselle likes to go through an initiation phase when it comes to someone new. But maybe she'll be cool with this new person. Maybe with the shenanigans with Karen, she'll welcome someone new into the group. And it doesn't take long before Candice and Monique, they hit it off right away. They're cackling. Both of their significant others named Chris. Candice actually just got engaged. Candice is super bubbly. I said, this can work. This can really work. Monique lets it be known that, hey, Ashley, Karen came to my house and she had a brand new Jaguar. And easily retail for over $100,000. I'm trying to figure out with this whole tax stuff, why would you go and do that? Because appearances. But I'll tell you later why Karen feels like it's not an issue. But they're going to get to the bottom of it eventually. Candice, again, and Monique are hitting it off. They're having a lot of fun. They're just silly. They're just really, 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 really silly. Candice likes to talk to her hands. Monique said, oh, she's great, but those hands get a little bit too close. I might have to bop to the top. But it's great. It's great. It's perfect. I talk a lot. She moves her hands a lot. It's perfect. And then she talks about how, I guess once she fully realized, oh, okay, she's going to be a part of the group. For mind you, Ashley had that look of, Jesus, why did I do this? Why did I do this? Separately, they're cool, but together, oh God. The other ladies, I don't know how this is going to work. And I said, perfect. That's exactly what we want. Monique keeps it real and says, this group is very, what did she say? Fake proper is the term that I'm going to use. Fake proper. And Monique agreed that, she's fake proper as well. Hello, how do you do? Even if I don't like someone, yes, kiss, hug, cheerio. And then as soon as they gone that bit. But like I said, this is going to be very interesting because Giselle may go through okay, time to initiate the new new woman. But we'll see. Robin, it's moving day. And Robin talks about how this is a new experience for me. I know it's only 2 blocks away, but it's a lot of stuff. So I hired some moving people, but not that much because I'm not trying to break the budget. So I actually have to go and pack things and move things along, so that because we only have them for like 2 or 3 hours. And she reminisces about how their relationship were and how she's been with Juan since he was little. That sounds weird. Since they were young, since I think high school. And she really was with him through the ups and through the downs. When he had nothing, when he had nothing to when he had it all, and they were showing pictures, doing a picture montage, to when he lost it all and we're rebuilding again. And she feels like Ashley doesn't understand because Ashley didn't have to build up her husband, really make him into the person that he is today. I'm thinking, no. Even though Ashley put her foot in her mouth a couple of times, overstepped boundaries, she wasn't wrong with what she was saying. Her delivery was trash, but what she was saying wasn't wrong. So I'm not going to go and have you try and reverse and say, well, Ashley was, because she doesn't understand how it is to really grow with a man, I can understand why she wouldn't see how my situation, it was none of her business to go at me the way that she did. I'm not going to say that at all. I'm not going to say that at all. I'm not going to say what I agree with that at all. Karen, like I said, she's calling everyone because she needs to have a gathering. And she invites them one by one. She feels a certain way because she doesn't understand how her friends would be the ones that would cape the hardest and go against her the hardest with her legal situation and kind of perpetuate what's going on in the media. And I said, well, that's because you have frenemies. You don't have real friends. You have frenemies. Real friends don't do that to each other. So this is a frenemy. And now you know. Candice, we see Candice and her fiance, Chris. He seems like country boyish. But in a cool way. Not in a, okay, I don't know if we can invite him to the party. Like, he can definitely be invited to the party, to the cookout. They both worked at a restaurant, and that's where they first met. She really loved his proposal because he got everyone that meant something to her there. And I said, okay, great. I'm trying to figure out, they both were working in the restaurant just a couple of years ago. What do they do? That's the thing I don't get. Like, what do they do? Because everyone in this show, it has to do with some type of money or status. Or maybe it's because of her status. I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost here. She talks about how she came from more so Huxtable's background, Cosby type of thing. Chris, more so, like regular upbringings. And I said, okay, no, you didn't have to tell us that you came from a certain background. We could see it. But you can tell that they're a young, fun couple. They're eating oysters. Seems cool enough. I'm just hoping that this show doesn't bring any unnecessary drama to their relationship. I really hope not. Giselle and Robin are getting ready. And Giselle has this shirt. This shirt essentially says, free the Hugers? I'm thinking, okay, Giselle. All right. She kept it cute because on the back it said tax reform or something like that. This isn't going to go well. Karen invited her assistant, who I'm thinking, have we ever seen? We're going to call him Alex because I don't know his name. Karen in these jumpsuits. See, Karen went, and I don't know if it was just the gym. I don't know if it was nip and tuck. But Karen looks good. And Karen is purposely showing it off. We know how this works. You have to distract people. And you have to make yourself feel better. So she has her armor on. Her armor is her body right now. She looks good. But as the ladies come one by one, she had this boardroom style. But there was this white table. It had pencils and paper. And again, this guy who we're trying to figure out where did he come from. Everyone else finally comes, and now it's time for Karen to go and just say, you know, I thought you guys are my friends, and I don't understand when there's a terrible, you know, tumultuous situation in my life, how my so-called friends didn't have my back. Of course, Karen didn't really appreciate Giselle's shirt. She didn't see the back, though. She didn't see the back. So she said she's going to take it in stride and just take it as support and not shade or joke. I said, take it however you want. It's all about what Giselle actually meant by it. Anywho, we have Karen taking this strong-armed approach of, so my so-called friends, and she takes out the tweets that Giselle had. Giselle made it very clear, I retweeted that stuff. I did not tweet out that stuff myself because I wanted answers myself. So I went and did. Let's just call it what it is. Giselle was being messy. Giselle and Karen always had this playful love, dagger relationship. And Karen's not going through a good moment. And we're going to jump through a lot of this because there's no need to go and regurgitate this word for word. Karen wanted to get it across that she filed separately from her husband, and she's been doing that forever. She was married once before, and ever since then, she wanted to make sure she kept some type of independence. Some people are trying to go and put 20 on 10 about her filing separately. I'm thinking a lot of the people who are married file separately. It's not a big deal. It is not a big deal. And to be completely honest, it's probably better that way. Robin is talking about, yeah, but what about the tax benefits? Hello? I understand with this whole tax issue that Ray has, that maybe that would have applied. But in general, if you're making a certain amount of money, then there's no issues with me needing a tax benefit or tax credit. Monique keeps it real and says she manages the money, but she doesn't just bring in the income herself. And I respect that honesty. But again, keyword, you don't bring in the majority of the income yourself. Ashley has, a business now, but still, in the past, a lot of her money was coming from her husband. You see where I'm going with this? Giselle, she came from a family of means, but she also had a husband with a megachurch, and so money was coming. You see where I'm going with this? Robin, again, I think she also had like a family of means, but as far as just day-to-day, and she had a job, but she stopped all that and was relying on her husband up until a certain point because that was the lifestyle that they decided for themselves. But you see where I'm going with this? Karen, also similar situation, decided, hey, again, we have no idea what Karen brings to the table financially. And frankly, part of me wants to know, but the other side knows that it doesn't matter. All that matters is obviously we know she's going to bring in something. And so she can file separately. It's no problem. Again, it's always better when things get a little shaky because apparently there was two tax things. There was one where it was his business, which everyone understood. They're business people. They get it. That happens. He bought a company that had tax issues. It's no problem there. Well, there is, but the issue becomes, wait a minute. The personal tax, how does that happen? And I understand the concept, you have to make millions to owe millions, but the whole thing is, owing millions isn't cute. The IRS is one of the scariest organizations in America. Let's call it what it is. Terrifying. I love how the attendant, the server, how he was holding back from giggling. He was trying his hardest not to giggle. Ashley asked Karen a question at one point as far as, because it was funny. Monique wanted to jot stuff down, and then Karen, she didn't snap at her, but was like, wait a minute, what are you trying to do? Don't do that. And Monique said, you gave us pencil and paper so that we can go and put this on the table and be accurate. That's what I'm trying to do. And then Ashley put it out there, say, okay, so are you being subpoenaed? Are you being audited? What's going on with you? And everyone looked at her at Karen, and Karen said, "Oh, trust. There's no issues here. But what about worrying about your husband on, you know, putting his naked picture out there on gay hookup sites?" I said, "What?" And then Bravo decided something that we obviously don't want to see, but they're going to show us anyway, is, blurred out picture of supposedly him. And I said, "Karen, you're hurt. You are hurt. And because you are hurt, you went for the jugular. That wasn't even necessary. Ashley didn't ask you something that deserved all that heat and all that gas." She asked, Robin asked Karen a question about, I just feel like you're being fake and fraudulent with this. And I said, okay, then it's fine. That's fine. You feel that way. But then she asked Karen to leave. Robin did ask a question prior to that. And it was confusing because the whole point is we're supposed to come to an understanding, but that understanding isn't going to happen. It's just weird. It's just weird. It makes no sense. Karen was super defensive. She wanted to leave herself. She was like, "I'm being bullied. No one's being bullied. They were talking to you one-on-one." And then Karen even jumped on her assistant who was trying to, because remember, her assistant, she told him, "Alex, make sure that this doesn't become a bullying situation. Make sure that you intervene before I get grouped on," or. And so he was trying to do that, and she even stopped him, like, "Wait a minute, wait." And everyone looked at her like, "Okay, Karen, okay, you weren't ready for this after all." But the main thing out of all of this is Giselle's question. So was he subpoenaed? Is he being audited? Is he being served? Like, what's going on with him? What's going to happen to him? Is he being indicted? And that's where it ended. So please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.